Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists social media influencers with management contract issues. Today I'm going to talk about, do influencer managers have contracts? In short, they better. If you're an influencer and you've decided that you've kind of reached a level where you think some professional representation would help you move forward, then you're going to look for either an agency, a manager, management company, an agent. It's all kind of the same in the influencer realm. Outside in some other industries, like with actors, there are some legal definitions and laws in place, especially in California, that kind of dictate the different roles that a manager and an agent can have. They have to be licensed through an agency. There's a cap on the percentage they can take. Whereas in the influencer arena, at least as far as the date of this video, it's a gray area, and there's not a lot of regulation of the industry. So most of any kind of management is all lumped into one big pot, even though they might be called something different. So if you have reached a point where maybe you did find a manager or an agency that you're interested in associating with, there's going to be, or at least they're going to require, an exclusive management contract between them and you. And so in that contract, it's going to dictate kind of all of the terms of the relationship between you and the manager. So the length of the agreement, how to terminate the agreement, the commission percentage or flat fee paid to your manager, what happens after the agreement is terminated. There are some things that you're going to have to continue to pay the manager, most likely after the agreement ends. And there's language in there about that. What happens if there's a dispute, where that dispute is heard, so it's called the venue. The responsibilities of the manager, the responsibilities of the influencer. The entire point of a contract is so that if there are some disputes, it should be spelled out in the contract as far as, is somebody in breach of contract? Is someone not doing what they said they would? In that scenario, a contract really helps avoid and resolve disputes without having to go to litigation or arbitration, or depending upon what's in the contract. So if you find someone and they say, you know what, I don't want to make this a formal thing, let's just handshake, verbally agree to the payment, whatever, that's an enormous red flag, and no influencer should go into that, because for a couple of reasons. In almost any management contract, there's going to be some kind of language that states after the contract's terminated, the manager will still receive a percentage of any deals that they brought to the influencer for a period of time, usually a year. Also, it's going to have language that states they are the exclusive management for the influencer. So if maybe a friend, another influencer, a sponsor reaches out directly to the influencer and says, here's an opportunity we'd like you to take, there will be language in the contract that states the manager has to be given all of those deals no matter what, and they'll still get a percentage of those deals even if they didn't bring them to the influencer originally. And then also, how is the relationship ended? So do you have to give some kind of notice, which is normal in a contract? What happens if one party is in breach of contract? Does the contract automatically renew after the initial term? All of this stuff has to be figured out in advance. Just going into a relationship without a contract is just a recipe for disaster. Now, if you are an influencer and you've been given a management contract, it needs to be reviewed by an attorney. It's just reality. I know some people are like, I don't want to throw down the money. When I review a ton of employment contracts for healthcare providers, physicians mostly, and we can we can either save or gain like literally hundreds of thousands of dollars for these physicians, and they're concerned about spending a tiny fraction of that on a review. If you're doing it the smart way, you need to get a review by somebody. That person can assist you in knowing, all right, well, what is a normal percentage? What should the language look like? As I said before, all the things that you should be concerned about. If a manager is bringing you their contract, it's going to be slanted towards the manager. That's just how it works. And so the influencer needs to push back and everything's up for negotiation. And kind of the good thing in negotiating for an influencer is the influencer has the leverage. You could choose anybody, and the manager, although can bring a lot to the table, they stand to make a lot of money off the influencer as well. And so the influencer has some leverage in making changes to the contract. So if you're given a contract by a manager and they kind of give you a take it or leave it offer, you need to leave it and move on. There should be no take it or leave it offers when it comes to an influencer management contract. You need to make sure that you're comfortable signing the agreement. Now, usually in a good negotiation, both parties feel aggrieved in some way. So both parties had to give a little bit, but if you get to that point, that usually means it's a good compromise and probably a decent agreement for both parties. So yes, there absolutely needs to be a contract between an influencer and their manager. If you have any questions about management contract or any issues involving those, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description, or you can reach us through our website, chellelaw.com. If you thought this video was helpful, please like, subscribe to the channel. We release videos every single day. All right, appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.